Happy New Year. Welcome to CEO Corner. I'm Otis Rawl, President and CEO of the South Carolina Chamber of Commerce, and I'm happy to have with me today Joe Taylor, Secretary of the South Carolina Department of Commerce. Joe, thanks for being with us today.
Hey, Otis, thanks for having me.
Well, glad you're here, and I want to talk a little bit about what's happening on the commerce front, some of the good things that's happening out of the South Carolina Department of Commerce. Just tell us a little bit about what's going on.
Sure. Here it is, January, early January, and I guess, Otis, I'm pleased to tell you that 2008 proved to be another record year for the state of South Carolina when it comes to jobs, recruitment, capital investment, and deals done. And I think one of the most satisfying things is they continue to be all across the state of South Carolina, not just concentrated in our urban areas. Again, I believe this year when the final numbers are all tabulated, and they're doing it downstairs now, that what we're going to see is that we again exceeded the percentage of our investment in jobs in rural South Carolina than over and above the workforce that lives in rural South Carolina. And there's been some neat deals. This year Lawrence County had their biggest deal ever.
Yep.
Fintessa, great company from Brazil, and just 3 weeks later we just topped that again for Lawrence County with American Titanium Works, which I think probably is one of those opportunities that's in the BMW level with the people that will attract and come in here. And then I think you and I have talked before, one of our priorities have been, I think, at Commerce since I got there, is to ensure that we're recruiting the marquee names.
Right.
So the young people in the state have the confidence, of what job opportunities are going to be here and how really neat and how strong South Carolina is in the business attraction business. And this year we saw Monster come to Florence, and of course Heinz Foods, a new plant in Florence, Home Depot here in Columbia, Target, another big announcement. And I think some of the other neater stuff are the green things like Rollcast Energy's new biomass energy production plant in Newberry.
Well, it sounds like it has been successful, and I know that becomes that much more important, particularly in the economy that we're in right now and staging ourselves for coming out of that economy. But some of the things that we're doing right now, I know that we've talked over the last 6 or 7 months about the unemployment rate and some of the jobs that we've got in this state and trying to match those skill sets with those jobs across the state. Tell us a little bit about what the Chamber and what Department of Commerce are working on to try to match those jobs with those types of folks.
Absolutely, because going back to our recruiting success first, because what we've demonstrated over the last couple of 3 years is that just being one of the best at attracting companies and getting jobs in here is not curing the unemployment situation in our state. And I want to thank you and you personally in the State Chamber of Commerce, because y'all have been a real ally with us in this, because if we're going to address unemployment in South Carolina, what we've got to do is begin to get real-time data on who the unemployed people are in the state, why they became unemployed, where they live, what their specific occupation was in the plant, what that industry is. Because we've got to begin to look at eliminating the root causes of unemployment, not just putting Band-Aids on the problems. Today, there's probably close to $1 billion worth of workforce programs in this state that are completely disconnected from the data on the unemployed. Right. And I believe that really and truly by tying that data together and working together, we can, number one, we can learn just what kind of unemployed folks do we have? Are they temporary? Are they employer placed? Are they permanent job lost? Is it really manufacturing, or is it more retail and say, tourism related? Right. And again, I think even the most important thing is what is it in each local area of the state? Because what we believe, and the Chamber I think is side by side with us, is that unemployment's not a state problem, it's a local problem.
Right.
And it's different in each local area. And we need to be looking at that, because the best way that we can cure the problems that we've had in our unemployment trust fund is get more people back to work sooner, faster, and quicker.
I don't disagree with you at all. We're going to close in just a minute, Joe. Tell us what's on the forefront for the 2009 year from the Department of Commerce perspective. More of the same, or have you got some other things going on?
No, we're going to continue our successful recruiting. We're going to pursue the data so we can target our recruiting more based on that data. I think if we know what kind of people are looking for jobs in certain areas, it'll give us it'll give us a little bit different tack. We're also, Otis, this year, something I'm really excited about, going to announce a new program called Taking Care of Our Own, where we're going to really work with the companies that Commerce and the local economic developers have recruited over the last 6 or 7, 8 years, and our larger companies in the state, to find out who those companies would like for us to recruit.
Well, that's great.
Who are their customers and who are their suppliers that, if they were located closer to them, would make them even more competitive in today's economy. And we're going to do that. We'll announce in the next couple of weeks that we're going to do that in conjunction with the regional alliances in the state. And that's something I think will pay great dividends for South Carolina.
Sounds like a lot of exciting things are happening in Commerce. And Joe, thank you for spending just a few minutes with us today, and hope to have you back at the end of this legislative session, maybe next January, to kind of look at what happened in 2009 and deliver some good news. I know Department of Commerce is working very hard to get things positioned so that when we come out of this recession, that we can hit the ground running and have a vibrant economy in this state. So thank you for being here with me today.
Appreciate it, Otis.
Thank you for being here today and listening to CEO Corner, and we'll be back next week with another guest to talk about what's happening in South Carolina from a business perspective. Thank you very much.